So the first thing that we want to talk about when we're talking about combat bonuses and penalties is the sliding dice scale. The sliding dice scale is pretty simple. So 2 is the standard dice roll. You're always going to be rolling 2d6 on any standard action. If you're plus SDS to attack or defend, you're going to add 1 more d6. You're going to roll all 3 d6 and you're going to take the highest 2 values. So ultimately, it's still going to be 2d6, but your odds of rolling a higher number are greatly increased every time you're plus SDS. If you're plus 2 SDS, you'd roll 4 dice. Now, what about being negative SDS? Well, it works the same way. Only now, instead of taking the top 2 values, you're going to take the bottom 2 values. So, if I'm negative SDS to defend, I'm going to roll 3d6 and I'm going to take the lowest 2 values. That's how the sliding dice scale works. The reason we're a fan of this system of handling advantages and disadvantages is ultimately it's always going to be 2 dice versus 2 dice with a range of 2 to 12. It's just the odds are increased or decreased of you rolling a higher number. But just like the Karate Kid, no matter what happens, no matter how bad the odds look, there's always a chance for you to do the crane kick and pull off the impossible. We've had many bouts where someone's been -2 SDS defending against a plus SDS attack, and they happen to roll 4 6s. They successfully defended the attack. The next thing I want to talk about are position bonuses. The first one is the rear attack bonus. So whenever your helot's directly behind an opposing helot, and that means the square directly behind them, they're plus SDS to attack. The next bonus is the against the wall bonus. So whenever you're attacking another helot and they have a wall or a column or any object behind them, even another helot, you're going to get a +2 damage bonus for every successful strike against them. Reason being is they can't kind of go back with the punch. They're forced to take the full brunt of it. The next is the running strike. So if I have 2 open squares in front of a helot, if I move forward through those 2 unoccupied squares and I land a successful focused or standard attack, then the opposing helot needs to roll a d6 to see if they're going to be rendered prone after that attack. To remain standing, they're going to need a roll of 4 or higher. Now we're going to talk about some situational rules, such as the crowd pleaser. Anytime you roll doubles, and doubles means the 2 used dice, right? So if you roll 3d6 because you're plus SDS or minus SDS, and the 2 dice that you end up rolling share the same value, then you're going to get 1 cred from the crowd pile because the crowd saw something that they liked and they were excited about it. So this happens anytime you're attacking or defending. Doubles are a good thing and you get 1 cred from the crowd pile. The next bonus I want to talk about is the turning point bonus. This is +6 damage to the next non-wild successful melee attack by your helot. Keep in mind, this is a +6 damage bonus, not a +6 attack bonus. What I mean is, if I roll a 5 and the opposing helot rolls a 7, I still miss. My 5 doesn't become an 11. But if I roll a 5 and the opposing helot rolls a 4, then I'm going to do 7 damage. Another situational rule is the staggering blow. And what this is whenever you inflict 4 or more damage in one attack to an opposing helot, they have to roll a d6, rolling 4 or higher, to remain erect and not be rendered prone. Another situational rule are the finishing blows. This is at the end of the fight. If you render another helot incapacitated or you kill another helot, you will get a 5 cred or a 10 cred bonus, respectively, from the crowd pile. And again, we've talked about this a couple times, the last helot standing bonus. This bonus is given to your helot if it is the last one standing at the end of the barge bout. You'll receive 10 cred from the crowd pile. Another interesting rule is the motivation button. Now, The motivation button is going to do 5 overall damage to your helot. But what it's going to allow you to do is spend all 6 of its command points on action or movement, regardless of what you rolled on your ratio die and whether or not somebody used a deception. And while we're talking about the situational rules, I want to remind you again about the unspent command point penalty. Anytime you don't spend all of your command points during your command round, you're going to forfeit either cred or overall, if you don't have the available cred, 1 coin for every unspent command point. And the last situational rule I want to talk about is the blood tiles and the guts tiles for body location or incapacitated or killed helots throughout the fight. Whenever you lose a body location on your helot, such as its upper or lower limbs or its midsection, you're going to place a blood tile in that helot square. If a helot is incapacitated or killed during the bout, you're going to replace that helot's miniature with a guts tile. Something else to keep in mind. All of your position bonuses and their effects are listed right here on your action menu, along with the sliding dice scale. And if you flip the card over, you'll also see all the situational bonuses listed as well.